reception.
So all of a sudden, it is a 17-point game, and 3 plays ago, East Carolina should be looking at the worst, a safety in their behalf and getting the ball back, if not a touchdown on the blocked kick, and all of a sudden they've been scored on, and they're down almost to the point of too much hill to climb.
They're not out yet, but I'll tell you, that was a blow right there to the head, and you just had to figure eventually Davenport, being a big play guy, was going to make some kind of big play. Now, East Carolina still has 13:01 on the clock with Jeff Blake. They still need to just take their time and be patient, try to work their way back in the game, not come back firing and try to throw deep and get an interception picked off against them. North Carolina State's strategy now will be to loosen up a little bit and give you the 5- and 7-yard catches and make you work the clock.
Foul with the kick. Wind is going to hold this one up, and in fact, a fair catch was signaled for at the 15-yard line by David Daniels. Tim Brando, what do you have for us?
Ron, you and Mike have been talking about the kicking game and practicing it. Watch Brian Treggs on the return, and look at the wall of blockers set up. The final block thrown by #1, Darrell Brown, right there, keying Brian Treggs 72 yards. Clemson is not trailed by 17 all year. They're down by that many with 2:51 remaining in the first at the Florida Citrus Bowl.
Tim, when you have those big layoffs and coaching and working timing and everything, the kicking game is the one area that really in bowl games can stand out. And boy, this bowl season has been a big standout.
Blake over the middle, wanted Luke Fisher, and there's nothing there. And now just to reinforce what Mike was talking about, the linebackers, there was a wall set about 7 yards off the ball, and the defensive backs looked like they were in outfield in baseball.
The Atlanta Braves outfield, they were deep back against the wall. They're going to make them work now. Work the field. Try not to give them the big strike that they gave to Hunter Gallimore early in the game.
12 minutes and 56 seconds left to play in this one. East Carolina led it at halftime, but in the second half, it has been all the red and white of the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Over the middle, complete to Driver this time. To the 31, Billy Ray Haynes makes a stop, and that will move the chains for the Pirates.
That's exactly what North Carolina State's plan is. They'll probably mix in some blitzes and play some zone coverage behind it, but make this East Carolina team work the field.
Quick out pass, this time to Gallimore. Around the 40-yard line of Sebastian Savage. And Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Guys, you know how tough it is to win a national championship. NC State did it twice in basketball. 74 with Norm Sloan, 83 with Jim Valvano. But the cheerleaders behind me have done it 3 times in the past 5 years. They are the national champion cheerleaders of all Division I. And they certainly have the emotion pulsating here on the Wolfpack sideline. Back upstairs.
Blake taps one time, and then he's going to go up on top. And it is intercepted at the 5-yard line by Mike Reed.
East Carolina tried to get the bundle on that play. Mike Reed, number 3, was in pretty good position. Looks like a little bumping again on number 85, Clayton Driver. Ball was thrown a long way, intercepted by Mike Reed.
Reed 9 tackles and 1 interception in the ball game. Not very good field position for NC State, but they simply couldn't care less. They just want to take some minutes off the clock, and I think this is not the first time we'll see Maynard hammer with the football.
Boy, that graphic that we just saw on the screen, 4 turnovers for East Carolina in this game, and 2 turnovers for North Carolina State. But let's go back. The 2 turnovers that North Carolina State had, East Carolina did not turn into points, so missed opportunities. And I talked earlier on about how sometimes the adrenaline flows so quick and you push so hard in the first half and preparing for a bowl. I think NC State has a little bit more in reserve right now in the second half.
Maynard again. He will take it about a yard shy of the first down. I'll tell you what, if you guys can get a shot, that pigeon is still about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he's not moving for anything, is he? Can you see what the officials now walking up to him, trying to get him to get up and fly, and he's just going away at that. Some kind of seed that's on the ground.
I'll tell you one thing, that seed's more important than his life because he's about ready to get stepped on. That's an eating pigeon there, boy. Put an ISO on that pigeon.
Maynard hammers it up the middle. And Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us here in this fourth quarter?
Well, Ron, I'm afraid unlike what Jerry Punch found across the field on the other sideline, cheerleading is the last thing you will find here. The one thing that Coach Lewis was bothered by earlier in the week, he said, North Carolina State has been to 4 straight bowls. We haven't been to a single one. They've been down by a couple of touchdowns, nationally ranked teams, but with about 10 minutes left to go in this game, I'm afraid midnight may have struck for Cinderella.
Well, there's something about a bowl experience. North Carolina State has it. East Carolina will be back in bowls, I'll guarantee you that.
Now that running play will come out near the 25.
This is amazing. That bird has not moved. He's still right there at the 18-yard line.
In fact, officially on stats, we've just been given to East Carolina 49 yards passing in the second half, pigeon 85.
Well, I don't know what the pigeon's passing, but he's still there.
34-17. About to go under 10 minutes to play in this one. Pitch to Barber. He will be hit as he tries to turn the corner. Mark Washington and Robert Jones combining in the stop, and a late flag has come down at the line of scrimmage.
Folks, there's what we're talking about. That pigeon right there has not moved. They've scrimmaged around him. They've just missed him a couple times, and there's just some things more important in life, and I guess it's food. Those seeds that they put down there, that pigeon is not going to leave till he has every seed. Look at it.
Holding. Offense. The penalties decline. Third down.
Well, the official walked up to him a bit ago and started to kick at him and then thought better of it, and I'm sure because there'd be some kind of activist watching or in the stadium who would come and protest.
I tell you, I'd like to have that pigeon on my team because he's not afraid of anything. Players miss him. It's almost like the players are trying to avoid him too. Don't bother him while he's eating.
Well, they run away from him. They go right up the middle, maybe a yard of the play.
And we've just been handed the attendance, 59,322. It's a Peach Bowl record. The previous record, 1987. Tennessee and Indiana had just over 58,000.
Change that. 59,322 and a hungry pigeon.
Tim Kilpatrick. When you look at the box score, you will look and see that he punted and punted well, but he has been an integral part and has done an extremely good job in the special teams for North Carolina State. Deion Johnson is back in a single safety. Off the side of his foot, and just as soon as he gets Bragg done, that punt will be at around the 30-yard line. We'll be right back.
A luxury car.
ESPN's presentation of the 1992 Peach Bowl is brought to you by Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. Well, part of the record crowd on hand for this 1992 edition of the Peach Bowl, the 24th edition. Next year will be indoors. It'll be in prime time on January the 2nd. Be playing it at the Georgia Dome. Blake's pass complete underneath. Johnson's going to be wrapped up as he goes to the 23-yard line. Now Texas A&M and Florida State 7-2. Seminoles leading that one with a minute left. Syracuse at halftime over Ohio State. And to tell you, 17-0 California leading Clemson. With Clemson's offense, that's almost too much of a hill to climb for them.
California has good defense.
Pass is complete and out of bounds at the 15-yard line is Van Buren.
That punt of 10 yards really has given great field position to East Carolina. Second half, here you see the possessions. Punt, missed field goal, punt, and interception. They've got to cash this one in to get back in this football game.
Blitz up the middle, pass incomplete. Gallimore's who he wanted. Billy Ray Haynes was streaking up the middle, and the senior out of Forest City, North Carolina, had a pretty good lick on Blake just as he delivered it. 18 of 33, 2 interceptions, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those are the numbers on Blake.
East Carolina's been able to come back this year on several occasions. Syracuse game, there's a lot of time left. 8 minutes in this game.
To the far side, caught by Fisher. 1st and goal for East Carolina.
Boy, nice route by Luke Fisher. He ran a corner route, but what was more impressive was the fact of the way he reached out and put his hands on this football. Watch the corner route now, breaks away from number 32 on defense, but watch the catch here. Reaches up, brings the ball back in. Sebastian Savage, number 32 on coverage.
It's 7 catches for Fisher for 94 yards.
He is a good receiver, and Jeff Blake likes to go to him.
Fade route incomplete. Van Buren's the man he wanted.
They had success on their touchdown that they scored early, the first touchdown on a play-action pass down here. They tried to run the option, you remember, the second time down and get thrown for a loss. You want to put Jeff Blake in some kind of position where he's running outside with the ball with a pass-run combination.
Pass overthrown. Fisher is the man he wanted. Well, they really have shown disdain for the run down here, haven't they?
Well, it goes back to, again, they haven't had a good running game all year. The running game's off the option, and they like to put Deion Johnson in the backfield. Their whole belief is they want the ball in Jeff Blake's hands, and they want him throwing the football. But so much, when you get down here, some of the times, the biggest question mark you have to have is whether they're going to play a coverage of zone or man, because you don't have a lot of field to work with down here. That's why I like to roll him out. If I'm going to roll him, I want to roll him out.
Option play. Did he get in? Yes. Touchdown. Jeff Blake.
Tough to defend in the goal line. That's the option that they ran. They came back and ran a different option. Steve Logan, good call, the offensive coordinator. Ran the option to the left, and the pitch man, Charles Miles, was taken, and Jeff Blake just ran it in for the score. Then another option quarterback, passing quarterback for Jeff Blake, a kid named Travis Hunter in 1988 and 89, who was very effective as a quarterback for East Carolina.
Kick by Brenner is good, and let's, as we go to break, take one more look at that touchdown by Jeff Blake.
I think the crowd's booing because they didn't think he got in the end zone. Let's see.
Looks like a good call. I don't think his knee was on the ground. So let's take a commercial. 10-point lead by the Wolfpack. 7:26 left in this one. 10-point game at North Carolina State. And Mike, is it too early for an onside kick?
No, I think if you're North Carolina State, you got to figure they may onside kick here. You're down 10 with 7:26 in the clock. You got that option, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they onside kick it.
He boots it away. It's going to be Lawrence from the 13. hang on. Lawrence all the way out to the 46-yard line. And right now, the East Carolina staff is saying, heck, if we'd onside kicker, we wouldn't give it up much more field position than that.
Well, you know, you got to take some chances. But East Carolina's a team that's come back all year. They're not out of this ball game. There you see what they did against Syracuse. They came back and
they were down 20-10 in that one. He came back.
Won 23-20 against a very good Syracuse team. Pittsburgh 24-23.
So they are capable with their offense. And your point is well taken. They're not out of it, and particularly with just about 7.5 minutes left. And that's exactly what Dick Sheridan doesn't want it either, and that is to run out of bounds and stop the clock.
No, and they're running inside in the short side again because of the strong safety and the coverage that East Carolina's given. They've got the extra man there into the boundary, so look for them to stay into the boundary.
Well, that's been their motto all year. They have a lot of faith that they can make it happen.
You know, they've just got a great coaching job, Billy Lewis. He talked about after the Syracuse game, looking at the players' faces after the game when they had lost, and he said, I knew then I had a special bunch because it meant something to them and that they were just anxious to come back and play again and win. And they've had a great year. I don't care what happens here.
Draw play. Barber will be wrapped up as he crosses midfield by Tony Davis.
You know, just imagine what they've accomplished, though. Haven't been to a bowl game for a long period of time. They've had good coaches. Mike McGee has coached East Carolina. Ed Emery, Art Baker, Pat Dye did a good job there. But Billy Lewis took this team, and after the 4th game, they were ranked 39th in the country. They only had 4 points in the AP poll, and they've come all the way to 12th. East Carolina.
Short drop and the quick out pass incomplete. Eddie Goings, what happened? He just kind of looked around as though he heard somebody coming. He should have caught that one.
Watch the throw by Terry Jordan, and again you see the receiver just take his eye off the ball. Well, they need
let's
a
see
good
if
punt now.
Kilpatrick with a 10-yard kick his last time. As you look at Johnson, had a no-no. That was costly. He fumbled a punt here in the second half. Johnson will let it go, and it will go into the end zone, just barely. Dr. Jerry Punch, let's get an update from him. Jerry.
Gentlemen, the signature for the Wolfpack the past 3 years has been defense, ranked in the top 10 in the nation. And 2 of the guys standing beside me, the little guys here, were primary reasons. Mike Jones, off that bowl-winning team of a year ago, now playing defensive tackle for the Phoenix Cardinals. And All-American and first-round draft choice Ray Agnew with the Patriots. And Ray, you guys have really turned it around. Coach Mack doing a great job.
Yeah, Coach Mack is a great coach. We're glad to have him. He brought the fun back to New England. I hope he stays there as long as I'm there.
A couple of players that NC State would like to have on defense right now as they try to hold on these last 6.5 minutes. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Jerry. Continued success to both of them. 10-point game. East Carolina looking to try to come up with something. And Gallimore makes a reception, and he really takes a blow. I think that's a long pass. It's a very hard pass to throw. And Blake just doesn't even wince. He just zips it out there.
Has so much confidence in his throwing ability and his accuracy and the velocity that he puts on the ball. Just a very confident quarterback.
Over the middle. This time it's Van Buren, and he will be down at the 34-yard line. Good for the first down, so it looks as though exclusively from the shotgun formation is how East Carolina will run this final 6 minutes and 9 seconds. And with their offense, as we mentioned, I don't think you can ever count them out.
No, and they've got good receivers. If you're North Carolina State, you want to make sure you wrap up and you tackle. You don't want missed tackles now because you're going to give them a short route. Don't miss tackles.
Well, one guy who just hadn't dropped them today, but he did there, is Luke Fisher. Already had 7 catches for 94 yards, and that one he lost concentration on and dropped.
They're a score away and an onside kick away from taking the lead in this ball game because they're very capable, as we talked at the start of the show, the big plays that they've had through the year. Billy Lewis, just a great job coaching this year.
On second down, has his man at the 50, Clayton Driver, and down to the NC State 45-yard line.
See, there was a missed tackle there on Clayton Driver, and he picked up an extra 5 yards. Now they go with the no huddle. They continue to go with the no huddle. You see the slow snap. Watch the crossing route underneath. That gets the linebackers up, and that's what opens it up for number 85, Clayton Driver. Then the missed tackle, 5 more yards.
Pass is complete, and it will be down to the 37-yard line. And you could hear the groan by the crowd. And what I think it was the NC State crowd, the tackle or the guard on the right side, and I couldn't pick up who it was because I had to stay with the quarterback. Blake just tackled the defensive lineman as he came across.
Looked like a holding call, wasn't called, and I think then people were expecting Jeff Blake to run the football and pick up some yardage, but he wants to throw the football.
That will be enough for the first down, I believe, if they give him a spot at the 35, and they do.
You're seeing a team that believes in the 2-minute offense. As I said earlier, I watched them work it. I watched both teams. So North Carolina State has worked this very part of the game also. They know what to expect. Now it becomes just a group that's going to execute the better.
Well, you can see from the spotting they did not pick it up.
Keeps the clock moving also. No, he got out of bounds. So it's still 5:09.
He did get out of bounds. We had trouble. There are so many kids on the sidelines right there that it obscured our vision. We're in 4-down territory anyway. And I'm surprised. I guess he wanted to make sure that he went ahead and picked it up. But I'm a little surprised that they did that to take time off the clock.
Well, they know the clock will stop now, and they have a chance now to get back. Clock still hasn't started. Now it starts.
Pass is complete, and that is good for 9 yards. It's Fisher, his 8th grab of the day. Now, for people sitting at home saying, what is NC State doing? What they're doing is they're cushioning, as Mike said, with the linebackers, and that's the void zone. If they bring them up, then you hit them deeper right in between them and the safety.
You've seen them hit Hunter Gallimore behind the linebackers. If they cover Hunter Gallimore, they go underneath just like they are here.
Fisher with the catch. It'll be an East Carolina first down inside the 20-yard line. Tyler Lawrence is there defensively. The other thing I want to get you to comment on is the fact that this shotgun formation is a couple of yards deeper than what most people use.
He is deep, and because he has such a strong arm, he can back him up a little bit further, and they're not getting much of a rush. So they're only rushing 3 people on him. But now, where the problem has come from East Carolina is once they've gotten inside the 15-yard line and running out of room. Now, see if they can solve that on this series.
Big pressure this time, and he just throws it away.
NC State decided to get a blitz on him to try to get a little bit more pressure and try to get him to hurry.
And you know, now the discussion goes on. He had no time to look at it, but NC State had messed up their coverage. Fisher had broken open at the 5-yard line, and that's the reason the defensive backs are having their little powwow down there in the secondary.
Man coverage, they had a crossing route. Somebody lost a man, that's why it was open. But Jeff Blake just didn't have time to get rid of the football.
Good time for him to have that kind of pressure, huh?
Good call defensively.
Johnson over the middle at the 5. He'll score. Now then, I think you go for 2 here.
I think you do. I think you consider going for 2 here to put yourself in a chance for a field goal to win the game.
Yep, and that's what they're going to do.
And they like the option on the 2-point play. They ran it earlier against Pitt in the year, but it doesn't look like a formation for the option.
And now a timeout is called. So they burn one of the 3. Let's take it with them. 34-30. North Carolina State. Well, here's the situation. NC State 34-30, and East Carolina lined up to go for 2 and to put them in a position to win with a field goal should they be good on the 2-point conversion, but they called the timeout.
Now they're in more of a formation to run the option. I'm not sure that's what they'll call at this time, but remember the 2-point play against Pitt was an option play.
Ball is dropped, and Blake can only go down to make the recovery. So the situation is now they got to score a touchdown, get the football back, and score a touchdown if they're going to win this 24th Peach Bowl game.
We talked about what North Carolina State had to do on defense. They're playing a lot of zone coverage, and you have to break on the ball. Here they brought a linebacker late on Jeff Blake, but watch the missed tackles. That's what you can't afford. There's 1, there's 2, and that's what causes the touchdown. You have to keep people in front of you in zone coverage. Make the tackle. Do not miss the tackles in that situation.
All right, now Dick Sheridan understands this situation better than anybody. They can't have a 1, 2, 3 and out. They've got to pick up at least 1 first down because East Carolina's last 2 scoring drives, 7 plays, 32 yards, 1 minute and 15 seconds. The other 11 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so they can score in a very short period of time.
Well, now that really the strategy comes right here for Billy Lewis. Do you onside kick here or not? I think now you kick the ball deep. Before I felt like you should have had the onside kick. Now I'll kick the ball deep. I have 2 timeouts. Count on my defense to hold them. Try to get myself field position where I can come back and win it at the buzzer.
Lawrence and Barber, the 2 deep men. Runner's kick. Going to come down to Lawrence. The fate of the 1986 Peach Bowl rested on the shoulders of Virginia Tech kicker Chris Kinzel, with North Carolina State leading 24-22. Kinzel booted a 40-yard field goal. This on the final play of the game, and Virginia Tech got its first ever bowl victory. Well, we mentioned to you that there have been some fantastic finishes. They try the reverse, and Davenport is going to be dropped for a 9-yard loss by Jerry Dillon.
Wow. Tough call right here, and a great play by East Carolina. Here you see the reverse with Jerry Dillon, who's responsible for the reverse. Broke up and made the play on number 7, Charles Davenport. And still, East Carolina has 2 timeouts remaining.
Running play will pick up 8 of the 9 that they lost just a moment ago. Downs will be stopped by Robert Jones, and now 3rd down. East Carolina looking to the bench, still no signal for a timeout to stop the clock, as we show 3:13, now 3:12 left in the ball game.
I think they have to throw the football here to try to pick this first down up. You can't play passive now because you've got a 3rd and 11 situation. Even if it's an incomplete pass, he stops the clock. You've got to try to pick this first down up because East Carolina's too hot to give them the football.
Quick out is dropped.
I think you throw the football, but you got to throw it a little farther down the field to try to pick up the first down. But that's twice that play's been dropped. Now the pressure goes to the punter, Tom Kilpatrick, number 37, because East Carolina's been close on him a couple times and blocking kicks.
Yeah, they really have.
This may be the time that East Carolina wants to set up a return and try to get Deion Johnson in the ball game.
They came after him, lazy spiral. Johnson will get a chance to return. Will he ever? Johnson inside the 45, and he's down at the 42.
Johnson, you want the ball in his hands. He's your best running back. He avoids the tackle, bursts up inside, now picks up great yardage to the 42-yard line and puts his team in a great chance to win this football game. Now North Carolina State's defense has to play a little different right now.
Flags down all over the place. Pass is complete to Fisher.
That should be on the offensive tackle of East Carolina. It looked like he moved just a little bit early.
And right now, the bench, this is a rare situation, but the players are asking the East Carolina fans to be a little quieter because they thought that maybe they couldn't hear the cadence.
Disregard the flag. The defensive team moved into the neutral zone. The offense was in a two-point stance and moved. No play, no foul. Replay the down.
I think East Carolina got away with one there, which is very fortunate for them.
Mike, I didn't look up. Was any time, did it come off the clock because they didn't put any back up there? That would be a very important point also. Okay, they just put 5 seconds back on the clock to answer that question. Over the middle, it's Johnson again. And he will be stopped at the 34-yard line by Tyler Lawrence.
Watch the left side of your screen. Here's the play that just before where the tackle moved. You see the right tackle? He moved, and then they didn't get the call. Terry Tillman, number 78.
Pass over the middle again. It is complete. Ball is loose. Recovered by East Carolina at the 30-yard line. And it's Van Buren who got on it. Good heavens. So if you have just joined us, 2 minutes left in the ball game. It is North Carolina State 34, East Carolina 30, and the Pirates are driving with a first down at the Wolfpack 30.
Luke Fisher's been the man on the spot. He's caught the big pass plays for ball possession.
Deep over the middle, incomplete. And he was off his target on that, where Driver is who he wanted.
What if you're East Carolina you look for right now? You're throwing all the short routes and you're doing all the right things. Eventually, you may get one of those defensive backs to bite and be able to get the post behind them. But right now, their strategy is clear to try to keep hitting the open receiver over the middle. Hope NC State misses a tackle or two, and you keep driving down there toward that end zone.
Blake sets very deep, drills his pass, has it complete, and out of bounds is Luke Fisher. And I'll tell you, Blake has now gone with a new career high, and we'll double check it in just a moment. That's going to put him over 350 yards, Mike, for the day. 30 of 51 for 356.
He has had a very impressive day. This is a big third down situation for East Carolina.
.140 left in the ball game. Pass is caught. Fisher will score.
Frankie Valley is starting to hum a little bit there wherever he's starting to hum, I believe, right now.
Pumped a little life back in him. I think you're right. Good heavens, what a comeback. 1:32 left in the game, and East Carolina trying to make it a 3-point lead. He's got it. North Carolina State just a moment ago led by 17 points. I believe, has been their theme all year. And right now, I believe it is beginning to work again.
Watch Luke Fisher, and again, a missed tackles. He comes down, just runs a little curl route. Good break by Reed on the ball, just couldn't come up with the incompletion, and couldn't come up with a tackle. Jeff Blake, a happy quarterback.
So, if you have just joined us, to mention again, East Carolina, at the beginning of this quarter was down 17 points. And right now it is 1:32 to play. East Carolina 37, North Carolina State 34.
Can't count them out. You can't ever count them out. But I'll tell you, you can't count NC State out either. They've had the big key on this will be what kind of return they get on the kickoff. Now you start to look at the field goal kicker for North Carolina State, because the pressure may fall on his shoulders if they can get in his range.
Kick is going to come down to Lawrence from the 4. Lawrence has been very tough, and he is again. He'll take it out close to the 30-yard line. So now we have 1:27 left in the ball game. Blake with 4 touchdown passes. That is a new Peach Bowl record. The old record was 3, held by 5 different individuals. Jordan on first down over the middle, has it complete, but it'll only go for about 3 yards as Davis comes up to make the tackle on Chris Williams. And of course, North Carolina State, in their hurry up, will not have a huddle. You got to keep an eye on Davenport, because he's the guy that can break it open.
They've got 3 timeouts left. They've got time.
Pass caught by Chris Williams, and I don't believe he's going to have the first down. Nope, not from where they have spotted him down.
They're going to stop the clock maybe to measure here, which will be a benefit for NC State.
Yep, it sure will. As you can see, under a minute to play in this one.
Now they want the clock back, and NC State's not ready to go. I don't think they know the clock's moving.
Jordan's pass is caught by Williams. Did he catch it in bounds? Yes, just across midfield at the 48. 14 yards, most importantly, a first down, and he stops the clock.
.37 seconds, 3 timeouts.
Jordan deep over the middle, incomplete.
You start thinking about the field goal that you need. Damon Hartman, number 13, has kicked a 56-yard field goal. He'd like to have the opportunity here. This ball club can get him closer.
37-34, East Carolina. 32 ticks left on that clock. Jordan's pass is caught by Davenport, and I'll tell you, he's one man from going the distance.
He was close. I'll tell you, there was movement in the North Carolina State offensive line that time. They got away with one that time.
Greg Floyd tripped him up. So there's a timeout on the field. 37-34, the Pirates will be right back. So there's the situation. 26 seconds left. 37-34, East Carolina. Only one tie ever in the Peach Bowl. 74, Vanderbilt and Texas Tech finished deadlocked at 6 apiece. Jordan, heavy pressure. and he will go down. Kumalai, loss of 17.
Well, he knows he made a mistake too, Terry Jordan, because he just had to try to throw the ball away, not take that sack and take himself out of any kind of field goal range. Watch Terry Jordan set up the throw. He's got to be smart. He's got to feel the rush. Now he's got to get rid of the ball. He doesn't get the opportunity because of the pressure of Zyme Kumalai, number 50, and Derek Taylor, number 97. A big sack by number 50, Kumalai.
Kumalai wears number 50 because he has tried to pattern his playing style after Chris Zorich, who wore the number 50 for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Dick Sheridan has to be a tad in disbelief as you look at the partisans from East Carolina, because just at the beginning of this quarter, his football team led by 17 points, and we were talking about, was it too much of a hill to climb? And you said at that time, Mike, with this offense, absolutely not.
They're a big play offense. They're always in every ball game. They're, as I said, like a basketball team that shoots three-point plays all the time. They're constantly firing, trying to score.
Well, the next sequence, 1 or 2 plays, which is about all North Carolina State has time left for, certainly could be the biggest play or two in East Carolina football history. Zings it over the middle, has it complete, and Hinton at the 30-yard line, and they're going to stop the clock with 6 seconds left. Mike, this is very attainable here, because this would be a 47-yard field goal attempt. It is within the range of Hartman.
Boy, good pass there. There's a lot of time wasted at the end, but watch the throw. Just a nice throw by Terry Jordan to Robert Hinton.
I'll tell you also, the spotting of the football, since he never went down, is terribly important, because every inch from this distance is an absolute mile when you're a kicker, right? Under this kind of pressure.
Sure is. Damon Hartman's from a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia, Roswell, Georgia. Number 13, the place kicker for North Carolina State. If they decide to try to kick now with 6 seconds to go.
Don't you think they've got to?
I don't think they have a choice. You got to try the field goal right now.
The ball has been placed out at the 31. So drop it 7 yards off that. It's going to be a 48-yard attempt.
Now, if I'm East Carolina, they've got a couple timeouts left. Use them.
Icing.
Try to ice him right now.
Well, Colorado did it 3 straight times to Nebraska.
Remember the block kick early in the game on the extra point. Robert Jones. Watch him come up inside. Try to get as much of a jump as they can inside.
This would tie it. He's got the distance. It is off to the right and no good. One more look. And from that angle, you could see, Mike, he had the distance, didn't he?
He had the distance, just off to the right.
Dick Sheridan starts the long trot across the field, and the reaction on the other side from Bill Lewis, and he realizes his football team has just won.
He's got
their
a top
11th game of the year.
He's got a top 10 football team. I tell you, they came back. They came back against the odds.
So, Coach, have you gone as far as you can now here at ECU? Do you take the Georgia Tech job if offered?
No, I don't have any feeling for that. This program can go to the next level, and we talked about it. The fact of being able to come back and do this consistently year in and year out.
On those last 2 drives, was Jeff Blake calling his own plays because of the time allowed down there?
What we were able to do is we were able to get most of them called from the sideline, and most of the calls came from the sideline.
Coach, enjoy the biggest win of your life. Ryan.
Well, let's take one more look at the field goal as we wish you a very happy new year and a great beginning to 1992. As this is going to be wide to the right and no good. And East Carolina, well, the miracle season is theirs. Now for Mike Godfrey, to Adrian Karsten, to Dr. Jerry Punch, I'm Ron Franklin saying so long from Atlanta. And again, Happy New Year.